time and odi cancel fun and obi adinese lawyer ono o defend the criminals criminal be a wo wiase bia Kissi Agyebeng the person okodi it means it's a criminal.
OSP fire back at lawyer Martin Kpebu. Now lawyer was say Debbie untimi kasa OSP say lawyer Martin Kpebu a mistake soldier ni oba ho be didi na temia no be release all the footages video footages pa mo recording na ho say lawyer Martin Kpebu edi soldier ni atem ene mo da sembeba abusia e bekom OSP ni lawyer Martin Kpebu nse me ma wo say Ghana fo nyina do mo hagim parliament kwasi invite OSP say omra no me yin semia no because in some year Kissi Agyebeng Ghana we na as a Ghana for dodo na no ehun ni ma year Kissi Agyebeng here. Yeah, you as a special prosecutor of the country, yet fighting corruption na babe 90 say wa babe down what thank God that you can wasema na watch no. We invited lawyer Martin Kpebu so omra. Na lawyer bedu ya o say ache na adan ya mo so ni soje ni bi akon e entrance of the gate ntia no kwanti no ya da bank aba egu lawyer Martin Kpebu nsa o e wuro na hu pia na to themselves over 10 hours no them. Kissi Agyebeng so no nti ye bekom ye bedom asuko pacho. This is the debate with the Munufie. Money bibi yanko bisa OSP nankasa say eba ne saying na mumu invite lawyer Martin Kpebu say bomb on corruption and corruption related offenses or they are two more OS office of the special prosecutor and the special prosecutor nankasa so no mo che no anu dia omo any.
Fortunately, Sami Daku, who is Director of Communications and Strategy at the Office of the Special Prosecutor, joins us on the phone to also tell us what transpired. Sami, good morning and thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Winston.
Great. So, Sami, this morning we've spoken to Martin Kpebu. He's told us what happened leading to his arrest. He's told us how he got in there and a soldier insulted him. He insulted back. What happened?
Okay, thank you very much, and to your listeners. First of all, let's make some clarity here. Martin Kpebu has made specific allegations of corruption against the SP and the OSP. When a lawyer makes an allegation, the lawyer will typically back it with evidence. But this is an allegation made by a lawyer with no shred of evidence. And all he does is to repeatedly make the allegation with the help of media every time. And as a nation, we've not taken our time to even question him on the basis of his allegation, what evidence he has. The laws are very clear. If you think that you have evidence of corruption against the SP or the agency called the OSP, there's a lay-down procedure you go through. And every time he comes on your platforms and he will tell you he's putting it together. To me, does he want to use 1 year to put together allegations against the SP? Then why don't you wait? When you've been able to put together your evidence, then you can come on air and make the allegations, or you submit it to the various institutions that could look into it. But just to come on radio every day, repeat allegations, insult the person of the SP, denigrate the integrity of the office, and the same people are expecting the office you are denigrating to work on an extradition for Kenoforiata. You are dragging the institution down with no evidence. People are listening. And at the end of the day, the bad guys are the ones who are very happy. So the OSP, as the primary agency that investigates corruption in this country, decided that let's go into it. Maybe he has some evidence. So a fact-finding committee was set up to go into it. So that's the long and short of the matter. However, he has refused to cooperate. But anytime he comes to the office, he comes with a number of media persons because he's a showman and wanting to do his show. But that is not the problem. It's after when he leaves the office, he goes, and the things he says are contrary to what he says. For instance, you come and say he's cooperating in the office, he's doing this, but he does not. Where in this country can you go to NIB, go to police, and tell them, I don't like this officer, I don't want the officer to sit, to be the one interview me. Hey, who gets that privilege? But at the OSP, we have tolerated all this conduct. He will say, I don't like this officer to be in it. The OSP will change it because we are doing a fact finding. Maybe he has evidence against the SP that will help to remove the SP. That's good. That's if the SP is corrupt. But we do this for you. The next time you come, you say, these officers are junior colleagues. I won't talk to them, blah, blah. Meanwhile, the officers talking to you are equivalent in rank to deputy commissioners of police. They are not small boys. You talk anyhow to them, you misbehave in front of them, they give you all the cordiality, and you say you answer, they say, okay. Now, eventually, your last trick is that you want the OSP board to rather be the ones doing this interview, when you know perfectly that there's no OSP board presently. So you can see from the pattern that this is a person who is just bent on denigrating the office, bringing the reputation of the SP to disrepute and all that. Then last minute he comes to the office and he extends all these things to officers who are lawfully performing their duties. So if you go to Ghana Police, if you go to NIB, and the officers in charge, men in uniform with guns, directing you to do something, and even if you won't do it, you have to do it respectfully, even as a lawyer, just for the sake of the profession. But you don't do that. You rather hurl insults at them and display an unruly behavior towards the men. If not that these men have been well trained to hold themselves up and to ensure that they do not ever allow any person to have a cause to say the person has been assaulted or done anything. It should have been a different thing altogether. But I want to congratulate these officers for holding themselves and still insisting that he goes through the right procedure and processes. And when you do that in any law enforcement agency, you'll be placed under arrest. So we have to separate his arrest from the fact-finding work that he has refused to cooperate with the OSP. That is different from what happened yesterday. What happened yesterday is because he had obstructed officers from performing their lawful duty. Men in uniform, he did that. And I'm saying that if you do that in any law enforcement agency, you'll be placed under arrest.
Okay.
Even when somebody comes to Joy of Matthew Fondes and start hurling insults at your security man and misbehaving or really behavior, if you have a security man who is well trained, they will place the person under arrest and hand him over to the authority, because Joy won't have the power of, say, police. So if you're asking me, this is the whole idea. But again, because of this coordinated attacks, wanting to bring the office into disrepute because the office has been biting and biting hard. My brother, let me tell you something. Anytime you find, we know corruption fights back, but anytime you find consistent, coordinated attacks on an office like the OSP, it is not the office that they are attacking. It is the people of Ghana they are attacking, because we are in the midst of many investigations, seizing millions of assets, asking people who have taken so much money from the Republic to return it. And it's biting hard. And you don't think that such people will not put up a fight. And so the bad guys.
All right. It was a era Sameda Kundi Assam no cra. Sameda Kundi best say OSP Assam cra. The OT Sameda Kunya. Because the OSP no power to arrest Dino. They decide say when you be channel and when you channel at any given time. And it is a who come OSP and let's say you be quite for boss with that go show. That is what Sameda thinks. Sorry, not Sameda thinks. And he believes that, oh no, your man power or to me to say police in to me all right to arrest anybody. But what here, I say, Office of the Special Prosecutor no, ewo Agyebeng pobi that ever lawyer Martin Kpebu. That is why they decided to do it. You board the mafia, power no, or buy be. That is exactly what they did. But Sameda has forgotten says how power naked and all this as a Ghana for and a demand. And yes, I will go invent power from sorrow. It's a necessary that would that when in the office or no bima. Sa power in this a minute to make it or watches and wine all right one day. It will be a mobile bet semi. Now so how you beside and say Debbie and some now work on lawyers the soldier ni bi ne dike din atem wo ho and say na all responded enti die na wo ka fa ho I say here enya no kwere eno de ono beka say Martin Kpebu ni evidence eno odidi OSP atem and I say SP natem o kan sem good to no evidence this time wo evidence I chere say won so asema lawyer can enya no kwere o say odi agwo de omo di video ina meba enti no.
When he got there, the officers, the military personnel, one called him stupid. In fact, another said, I will show you those things you've been doing. And so it was not a case of he going there and picking a fight with them. It was because of what they had said. And so it cannot be said that he, Martin Kpebu, got in there and started misbehaving.
If you ask me, I'll place very little value on what Martin Kpebu says, because consistently he has shown that he will not put out accurate information. Let me give you an example. He was on Joy platforms and told Joy that there were 16 petitions to remove the SP. He didn't say that somebody told him. That's why he's saying it. When he was put under cross-examination by KSM on his show, he then said that he heard someone say it on news file. That is why he also said that, and that he was going to add his to make it 17. If you know you're going to add yours to make it 17, why don't you put together your evidence and then you present it, than going around every platform and spewing allegations that you have no evidence to, just to denigrate the SP. So I'm saying if you ask me a voice account, I won't, because I've seen the variations, and there are a few things that with time we will explain and let Ghanaians know about it.
Sammy,
the soldiers and the police at the OSP are very professional. Do you know how many people come to the office in a day? And yet, you've never heard anybody say that these officers have been rude to them or these officers have misbehaved. The only person that has brought this up is Martin Kpebu. I'll give you a second scenario. When he visited officers on the second time in our office, he came back and told the media that when he went to the office, they asked him how many lawyers he was coming with. And that again was a palpable lie. Some of these things, maybe with time we may have to put out videos and all that, but some of these things are very false, because when you go to any reception, they don't know whether you're a lawyer or you are coming with a lawyer. Those at the front desk don't know who is a suspect, who is a witness. They don't know. You're the first face that is going to process you, because they just want to know how many are you. Maybe we are 3, so that they're able to arrange tasks for 3, because things are arranged in a security manner and they need to follow that. So when they ask you how many are you, you cannot come out and turn it into that the OSP is trying to restrict you to how many lawyers you can come with, and you create a whole scenario that's not true, because you think that you have access to platform and that you're going to denigrate the SP, and that you are going to ensure that the SP is removed, and that you are going to ensure that nobody have trust in the OSP. And I'm saying that these things, it doesn't hurt the SP, it hurts Ghanaians. Because this is an office with men and women of integrity who have been busy working day and night, even as others are trying to derail the progress of the office.
Yeah, but Sammy, the point that you make about not trusting what Martin Kpebu says, well, for me, the question is, what happened? Is it? What Martin Kpebu says, did that happen? It's not to say, because of the things he has said in the past, everything he says cannot be trusted. Because yesterday, our reporter who was there actually corroborates some of the things that Martin Kpebu said here. So
what does the reporter say?
Hold on, Sammy. Because the reporter actually makes the point that when he was interviewing Martin Kpebu, and one of the security persons, the officers, came there and said they should leave there, the reporter actually said, oh, but why? We're not within the premises. And Martin Kpebu was actually the person who told them that they should move away. If they say leave, just go ahead and move away. And this is what Martin Kpebu hold on, Sammy.
Okay.
Hold on. And this is what Martin Kpebu had said earlier. The reporter comes to corroborate what Martin Kpebu has said. I am saying, do you know that these soldiers insulted Martin Kpebu, told him they were going to show him the next time? Because he says that is what led to his response that you are also stupid, and then it continued.
Well, we've had the chance to evaluate the entire scenario. Martin Kpebu was not just placed under arrest because our men told us what happened. There were witnesses there. So your reporter that says that they were told to move away is true. Every journalist who has been every journalist who has been at the OSP premises, the gates, will know that the office does not permit photography or videoing of the entrance or even the building.
Why are there? Enti lawyer yi Sameda akwose OSP office kwa say in picture oho in picture oho yet na nadu danko Akufo-Addo na o appointed wo Sameda akwone Kissi Agyebeng no o ma president kwa ebe twa American music video e ho president kwa twa picture oho Sameda akwose no office no in picture oho public space no o se gan in picture yin nyina ni mukura twa picture na interview na twa video oho why are they inimi adekora mo ye office o but Sameda akwone, let's be honest with yourself. Ghana ni bi oti Ghana bi anim how patapa so jafo ye won kan okre police for kan okre e chini pa kwa ye dituragu so wo Sameda ko wunim enti se wo betena wo be Sameda ko me no se okra won kan okre ma men konisa street oni Kissi Agyebeng nya adwuma mo ye Ghana for se ni nso o pa resign na ko ye private lawyer na ye private lawyer na be se wo benye soja ni agade wa ye behu asa wo ko ye private lawyer na to fee na se obi ko gine ni mo twa picture na so be me ya che na ye behu. Sometimes when you political appointment na amonya mote mo ye tin God in the country. Ebasa na mu gu aban ani mase. Also now the whole institution of special prosecutor in Ghana for see you no same you go na dey na obeye. Sa wa fere. Into wonya hu obeye, wonya sa patapa no. Ti se wo obi chi na nka enye lawyer Martin Kpebu because you have arrested the wrong person. And na dey mo problem and na wo kasa wa na wo kasa. Also bi anje wini. Ba ye go bisa lawyer Martin Kpebu say Kissi Agyebeng appointment no de ban no kwan be na wadwum no Kissi Agyebeng fa so onya sa appointment no obekere ye nyina behu credit to Joy na video e boy nyina credit to Joy for Kissi Agyebeng say lawyer Martin Kpebu no he had a link with Gabi and obebubo DB as to how he got appointment in behu.
Did they visit the first issue of your alleged misconduct corruption and incompetence against the OSP? Has that issue been visited today at all?
No, not at all. But the Ghanaian people have spoken. You saw yesterday the Ghanaian people, social media, traditional media, as you did the news stories, I'm sure they've seen that. No, they've lost badly. So the story remains that Kissi Agyebeng sat on his hands and allowed Ofori-Atta to run out of this country. When Ofori-Atta had 5 cases pending before Kissi Agyebeng, which leads to a reasonable suspicion of collusion, because in the past Kissi Agyebeng had worked for this Ofori-Atta, and also Kissi Agyebeng used to work for Gabi Ochridako, and Gabi Ochridako is related to Ofori-Atta and related to
Counsel. I'm sure you will not be the best thing to mention names of those people here, but I'm sure your allegation can stand without the mentioning of those.
We will always have to mention, Mr. Aveji. We always have to mention because we are connecting the dots. Kissi Agyebeng was handpicked because he's close to Gabi Ochridako, close to Godfrey Dame. Okay, and so ipso facto, that's Akufo-Addo. So he was handpicked so that he would do their bidding. He wasn't picked as an independent person. Martin Amidu was the one who was picked as an independent person. And see how Martin Amidu stank Akufo-Addo, mother serpent of corruption. So Akufo-Addo said, no, henceforth, I'll pick somebody who will play.
What I say. And you know, Kissi Agyebeng and no chichi chaman for no. A reason being the final quarter now. That is why a lawyer Martin Kpebu can former finance minister say mo. But be honest with yourself. Wow, hear me in the comment section. Wait me to arrange that. Say OSP and I say SP no, which is the office of the special prosecutor, and that's the special prosecutor and kasa. Say a level corruption against you one kasa ultimately say investigate you. O tie Sameda akonso mo kan na say o man kasa kwa asem no madi kan say ne dada. Tell akwa we back kwa e be bo asem na gu because say we couldn't any evidence. Into the evidence, they go by, bet temper with the evidence, like I said, one family, then they write a report and come and tell us stories. And then some da come up by so on found call. Also, mamu who in the end, we are position in do. Na see a yimu and na, ibehu. As more can Japan. We did him. Why? Why did him? Why did him? But you in the comment section for eventually, bra.
Listen, and time, and all the cancer phone, and will be a dinner. Lawyer or no. Or defend the criminals. Criminal be a we are CBR. Kissi Agyebeng the person who could. It means he's a criminal. That foolish lawyer. Or you're stupid. It's Sisa Kurasini.
No, and ABC we insults.
Yes, I have to. This is accusation of murder. Murder. Sabime Kumunipa. A serious.